What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to T3G. My name is Dalibor, and today we are talking about reassessing your goals. Now, last week I talked about how I had a stint of choice paralysis, and I gotta say, great responses, honestly. A lot of great insight, and just kind of knowing that you're not alone feels good, weirdly. Like, knowing that you're not just like the only person going through this thing, you know, it helped. So I appreciate everyone who interacted, who reached out to me directly or through the comments. Thank you. But I want to talk about one comment in particular. My guy, Brad. He brought up a point that's often mentioned when you talk about making a YouTube channel, running a YouTube channel, talking about niching down and kind of getting yourself into the space that you want to be working in. And it gave me an opportunity to kind of reassess, right? I was like, well, am I doing what I want to be doing? If you guys recall, last year, I changed the whole format of this channel. The format used to be, before 2020, it was tech reviews, and for a while it was movie reviews, and it was some vlogs, and the podcast kind of started on that. We just nixed that whole thing. So I kind of thought about it, figured out what I wanted to do, how I wanted to approach it, and I brought the channel to where I wanted it to be, and that's documenting my journey in storytelling, telling the stories that I want to tell, however it be, whether it be through film, whether it be through magazines, whether it be through comics, novels, whatever I want to do, this is where I'm going to be documenting it. Now, that is often going to include tech, because especially with filming, there's a lot of tech involved. And honestly, kind of to take advantage of algorithms and searchability, I'm going to be talking about things adjacent to the tech that I'm going to be doing. Additionally, it's going to have stuff like this, where it's introspection, it's kind of talking through the process. I was discussing with my therapist this week, and he asked kind of, how did you get out of that paralysis? He said, how did you get out of that headspace of not being able to shoot a video, not being able to choose what to do? And I said, honestly, it was just sitting down and doing that video, just kind of airing it out, talking through what was bothering me, what was affecting me, kind of where I wanted to go, allowed me to get my head into certain directions. And coming out of it, I was like, I have this thing that I'm going to be doing. I have this one video. So I got the LG Wing video out of there, right? So now that's out of my head, and that left room for other things to kind of grow and get a little more fully realized, if you will. So I appreciate the fact that I have the opportunity, obviously, to talk to my therapist, and that's a privileged position to be in, but like, just talking through it, even to yourself, into a camera, helps. And especially somebody asking you, hey, what is this channel about, gives you a reason to think about it. It gives you a reason to consider it. Hey, am I still doing what I want to be doing? Because I've talked about this previously. There's no reason you can't change your mind. Let's say after doing a year of production and storytelling, I was like, this just really isn't what I'm trying to do. I really like talking about tech, and I wanted to shift back into tech. I could have made that move. But being asked that question and having that moment of, all right, am I still doing what I want to be doing? Like, what am I doing with this channel? So kind of verbalizing that in the response, and then be able to talk about it separately, it did help. And in thinking about that interaction, I had this idea of doing this video. So it all kind of builds on itself, right? Now, specific to the subject of reassessing, I want to kind of go to an old methodology that I talked about. And this is going to sound a little weird, but originally when I came up with this, I was applying it to relationships. And I was suggesting that everyone should do this, because I felt that there was not enough life for you to waste it with the wrong people. And this was friendships or romantic relationships. It's the 30, 60, 90, 120, 1 year marker, right? At a job, when you start, you got your 30-day trial period. You've got like a 90-day check-in. They're going to make sure you're fitting, you're working for the position. And then after 6 months, you're pretty much in there, right? You've got a job, you're employed, you're going to be continuing. And I was thinking, this was years ago, mind you, this was when I was dating. I was thinking, this should be how relationships work. Like, if I find someone, or if I meet a friend, in 30 days, I'm going to get like generalizations out of the way, right? Is this person generally good, generally polite, generally kind? Cool, that's out of the way. At 30 days, that's going to be the easy stuff. That's like red flag era, right? And if they make it out of that, then you're having a little deeper conversations. You've gone, 4 or 5 dates, or you've hung out a couple times, And now you have maybe a deeper conversation. You're talking about family, you're talking about other things that are important, goals, plans. That's where you're going to see if it matches, right? That's where you're going to see if it fits, if your idea for where you're going to be in 5 years matches their idea where they're going to be in 5 years. At 90 days, that's your 3-month review. That's where you're really, really, really like, you're picking away at the things, right? The way they chew, is it just like irking your brain every single time they're chewing? You can't hang out with that person. You can't hang out with somebody that when they chew, they always chew with their mouth open and they're not listening to any feedback on that, right? You can't hang out with that person. That's a terrible person to be around. You know, if they're bad tippers, like on purpose, like they know they should be tipping more, but they don't tip well, is that a person you want to hang around with? They're stingy. They're maybe even resentful of people who are in the service industry. That's like, there's got some deep, deep problems that you don't want to deal with. And at 90 days, I think you will have seen that and you'll say, all right, I'm going to ease back on hanging out with this person. After 6 months, you know everything you're going to need to know about a person. At a year of knowing someone or doing a specific project or pursuing a specific goal, you know if this is something you're going to want to have around forever. So looking at projects and passions and pursuits, that feels like a thing. Feels like we could build that into a thing. Tell me what you think. Projects, passions, and pursuits. I don't know. That felt like a Gary Vee moment. He just like comes up with stuff on the go. But anyway, down that line of things, right? If I did a year of drawing, like a year, just like a solid year of drawing, and at a year I was like miserable, that's not something I would want to continue doing. It's kind of like coding for me. Like, I am not a big fan of coding. Like, I couldn't code every day. Like, I feel like I would go insane. But man, is it fun to just code once in a while. Just write some code. Like a good old bug hunt, like where that sounds weird to people who don't code. When you compile code, you either get the result you want or you get the result that you don't want. If you get a result that you don't want, you need to find the bug. You need to find where the comma is missing or the parentheses is missing or whatever one stupid thing is missing. And every once in a while, that's like high yield chocolate for me, right? Delicious. You just want to do it. But you can't have it every day, right? It's not something I would want to do every day. And I learned that, thankfully, in college. Like when I went to college and I saw a dude spend 12 hours hunting down one single bug, I was like, nah, I'm not going to do that. That sounds awful. Even though like 3 months later, I helped in a bug hunt. We were looking, I forget what it was, but we spent like 6 hours on it. I played through like 3 CDs that I'd made. This is back in the days when you would burn CDs. Oh, CDs for the younger folks. Anyway, we spent a long time. We spent for like 5 or 6 hours just figuring this out, and we did it. It felt great. And literally that night I was like, man, I would hate doing that every day. Just hate. So at the end of the day, no matter what I'm doing, I'm still pursuing that storytelling. So, now a year later, after having made the decision to document my storytelling journey and just kind of go through the process and share how I'm going through that process, I'm still doing that. And I'm still liking doing that. And I still enjoy doing that. And that's where it's going to stay. Not necessarily permanently, because I can't say that I won't change my mind down the line. So in review, take 30 days and just bear down on something, right? Just do the hell out of it. If you're going to start drawing, draw. If you're going to start coding, code. Just do it every single day as much as you can. See how it feels, just to have it be present in your life. You don't know until you try. And that's what that 30 days is. 90 is when you can make a decision of yes or no, right? That's when you're going to be like, all right, doing this for 90 days, maybe it doesn't fit into your lifestyle. Safe to call it. Try something else. We make a lot of these decisions like they're forever. Like, we can't ever change our mind. Careers, like the things we pursue, the relationships we enter into. And yeah, no, they're not forever. They don't have to be. If you're miserable, even if you're married, if it's been a year of marriage and it's been 364 miserable days, you just call it, just call it at that point. You got like either have a conversation, try to address things. And if you've already done that, you've done everything you can, you got to just call it, right? If you've spent a year pursuing something and you have seen zero growth and zero progress, you're not getting better, you're not getting interactions, you need to reassess. Maybe it's you, maybe it's the subject matter, maybe it's the approach. You know, if I was trying to do this channel to be my like job, I'd be doing it wrong. Like, I'll be very honest with you. The growth is not there. There is a way to do this whole channel and make money faster and and have growth faster. Literally, the Think Media machine is all about it. But again, it depends on what you're trying to achieve. My goal with this channel personally is not to turn it into like this. I don't want to be a YouTuber as a job, right? I don't want to ever feel like I have to make a video, else it might affect my ranking or whatever. Then I may not get the same amount of money, and then I may not be able to pay bills. I don't ever want to be in that situation. I like making these videos. I like doing this stuff. The channel is not about me making money. So all in all, that's the whole point. I feel like I've made a point. Have I made a point? You let me know in the comments. Reassessing where you're at, where you're trying to go, and then coming back to it every once in a while and saying, hey, am I still on the right road? Am I still going down the right path here? Did I waver? Did I dive too much into X when I meant to go down Y? It helps to make sure that you're still doing what you want and that you're still doing it for the reasons that you want. That's going to be it for this one. Hopefully it made some sense. Appreciate you watching, and I will see you in the next one.